frequencies, everyone. Just waking up. But I want to add on to the dream that I was talking about yesterday with the jump, and then the dream that I just had today. Last night, over the night. And sorry, I'm just waking up. I wanted to do this at 3. I woke up at 3:33. But I was so tired, I had to stay in bed and not talk. But before I go into the dream, I do want to share some things. I have insights, epiphanies, realizations, and intuitive messages while I'm driving. Most of the time it's like when I'm driving in a car and I have this space and time to really think deeply about things. So my mind thinks and it goes. And that's what happened yesterday in regards to the dream part of the dream in which I told you all I jumped and I landed on my feet. Another person jumped and they died. And then another person jumped awkward, but they made it anyway. If you haven't seen the movie Jumper, I think I saw it years ago. It's an older movie. Not too old, probably maybe about 10 years old or so. I suggest you watch Jumper. That's what came to me when I woke up out of my sleep from this particular dream. And so, in the dream last night, before I go into the dream, I want to kind of explain something that I felt yesterday when it came down to the jump. That in this reality, we of course, we live in this reality, but we also have other existences, which most of you know. When we go into the astral plane, that's when we instantly create. One thing came to me about the universe in the verse part, like a script. A script from where? A script from here, the mind. Just like in the Bible, he said the word became flesh. We can take a verse from here, anything that we're saying, and we can make it reality. We can make it matter, like physical form. We give it density, and it can make it a physical illusion that we can see. Just like they're creating the metaverse. That's another script that they're getting from us. The most, I would say, complicated and the most researched piece of machinery is our brain, our mind. Everything that we see is being duplicated from our brain, our minds. And people want to get a hold of that information, knowledge of what it is. In the dream, as the jumper, when I jumped and I landed on my feet and the other two people jumped, it put me in a thought process of like, okay, that person didn't die. That person probably woke up in this reality. Have you ever jumped and you woke up, or you were flying and you feel like you dropped and you woke up because you weren't aware of those powers, those physical powers to utilize it, because everything happens fast in the astral plane. And sometimes if you haven't done it before and you're unaware and you're learning like a baby, you kind of get jittery, or you're not ready and you wake up. You're afraid. You wake up because you're still carrying over the emotions from this reality into that one. So your player, just like a video game. That's why I say everything they get from the brain. Your player over in the astral plane isn't quite ready. It hasn't been groomed enough in order to handle instantaneous manifestations. Okay, so I thought about it. I was in the car, I thought about it. I was like, okay, that man, he didn't die. He probably woke up in this realm. And he couldn't complete the mission over there. He just woke up. And we were there. So the other crew that I was with, we continued to move on and do things. Okay, so I give you that little groundwork and thought processes so you can kind of think about that. You jump or you fly and you do all this. You don't think you wake. You don't really die physically. He wasn't dead physically. He probably just woke up here. Last night, now that I have it jumped and landed on my feet, I'm a jumper now. I can easily jump, move, fly, and do different things. I'm not the only one, of course. It's other people who have moved on to that level. And everybody is not benevolent. Everybody's not good. Everybody's not positive. Everybody is not of a high frequency. Just when you have positive, you always have the opposite. You have two ends of the spectrum. So saying that, in the dream, I ended up working with this. I don't know how I got with this crew. But this crew, they have been doing this for quite some time, obviously. And this is what they've been doing. They have been having, and I'm learning that the children that I'm seeing are not always children per se, but they may be infant or childlike spirits or energies. They've been having these inexperienced people, energies, could be you, anybody, take these jumps, and they know they're not ready to jump. But they've been manipulating people to jump and to do different things, and they're not ready. And it's like they're using, once they crash and die, they're using their energy to move on and to empower their mission. It empowers them when somebody falls and dies and wakes up. I haven't got to the part of how it does, but it does. So part of this group, it was a mission. I was told to talk this child into, like, befriend this person, talk this child into going up, jumping, so they could harness the energy. Like, we could really harness their energy. Because see, now that I'm a jumper, I didn't know, like, who to be influenced by, who not. Like, I'm going in, this instant manifestation, you're learning. So I befriend this person. I'm supposed to be going through this mission, and right when this person goes up, and it felt like it was like a little boy, goes up to jump, and it didn't. And then everybody isn't human too, because the boy did not look human at all. It had features, like different features I'd never seen before. But it was so innocent, and it didn't know, and it trusted me. So it went up to jump, and I had talked this child into jumping. Well, the child jumped, believing in what I told him. And instantly, my mind was like, whatever you're doing, you're going to receive this back. This is not right. So when he jumped, I jumped down and scooped up and flew down and caught him and took him to safety and put him down. When I caught him, I felt his breath, and he inhaled and exhaled. I was like, okay, he's still alive. He has breath. He's still alive. It's okay. I placed him down. Now, the crew saw me do that, and they got upset. So they was like, they were out to get me because I didn't follow through on the mission. So, I was able to move and jump through different spaces. That's why I say go watch Jumper. because if you see jumper, you'll know how you're able to jump through different spaces, move, how you can be able to move, and that's how we're able to move. And I'm gonna stop there. Some other things that occurred, but I'm going to stop there because I just want you all to think about that. And send me your comments on what you think, if you've experienced jumping, if you've jumped or you've flown and you woken and you wake up. What do you think that is? It's come to me that I really feel like even though you jump and you wake up in this reality, what is going on with what was the mission and what you were doing? Were you flying? Were you jumping? What was the mission? Were there other people around you? What was going on? Because the mission doesn't stop just because you wake up. But if there's other people around you, they could have been causing you to jump just so they can harness that instantaneous energy and manifestation you have to empower them to move them forward, on their next level. Remember, I think they get video games and everything that we do here from our brain and how we move and who we are. That's what I had to share. So please comment with anything you feel like you've experienced that's similar. And that's just what I'm thinking about. That was my dream last night, and it was directly after the jump I had the other night. Now I had the dream about somebody else jumping now that I'm a jumper and I was able to save them. But it's a group of people who can jump who are getting others to jump to harness their energy. Yeah, weird. All right, so everybody, I leave you in peace and high frequency.